Hi, I'm Mike Rudolph, here with video production instructor Rod Wankel. How you doing?
Good, thanks, man.
Now, a lot of people may recognize you from your past jobs working for Fox 40 and 989, right?
Sure. Came here about 10 years ago, started working for Fox right there, stayed there for about 9 years or so, and then 989, that's more popular than all that time I spent at Fox 40.
Well, I happen to recognize you as my former video production instructor right here at Broome Tioga BOCES. Can you give us a little background knowledge about what you got started in the industry of video production?
Sure. In high school I was kind of in the same boat you were, really. Junior year, sophomore year, I'm sitting there thinking, what in the heck do I want to do? And I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad was doing a job. I didn't want to do the job he was doing. So started getting into sports. I mean, sports was always big in my life anyway. So went and talked to a local sports guy. He was like the topic of, kind of my interview like you're doing now.
Right.
Talked to him for a while, and he was pretty helpful, got me going, and decided that's what I wanted to do. So I did some announcing. When I wasn't playing sports in high school, I would do some of the PA announcing and do things like that just to get me going, because at that point we didn't have a lot of video equipment, at that point. So after that, I went to school, went to Central Michigan University. Got going there, and that was probably about 4.5 years is what it took me to get through. Some people do it 4, but it took me a little longer because I got a little bit into the video, really, is what happened. I mean, I got in there, I started working right away. We had our own news station, we had our own comedy stuff that we were doing, so I got involved with that right away, did a lot of work there, got internships after that, worked in a station in Michigan as a videographer and a part-time sports reporter. That was for a year and a half, I think, or a year. Then I came here and worked here for 8.5 years at Fox 40, doing sports anchoring, reporting, shooting, writing, everything that puts that local sportscast on the air. And after that, brief time at Time Warner, where everybody saw 989, and that's what makes me popular now, apparently.
Yeah.
Spent 8.5 years in a news station, don't get anything out of it. A couple months at 989, that's what happens. And then I came here. Just decided that it was time to get out of the media industry, basically, at that level, and wanted to become an instructor.
Now, how was the change going from working with adults your age to students about my age?
Not too much different, honestly. People in television sometimes just aren't, especially here, it's a young crew. When you come and you work in Binghamton, I mean, Binghamton is about a quarter of the way up the list. There's something like 205 television markets in the country, or 210, something like that. And Binghamton's about 150, so it's kind of low. New York City's #1, Los Angeles and Chicago, the big markets.
Yeah.
So we're kind of low, so really it's young people that are always working here. So I worked with a lot of young adults most of the time. And in sports, I was always around high school kids, college kids. I had interns that worked with me. So the change, when I actually took the job, I felt I'd be ready for it, because I was always working. I was getting older, and the other people were staying the same age, because people were leaving our station, and I stayed there. And working with kids like I did and doing interviews with them, I thought I'd be able to handle it. And really, I thought I did all right last year. There were some instructional things that I do differently. Dealing with kids, though, I've always enjoyed it, because it's kind of challenging.
Now, was video production something that you always had an eye for, or is there something else after this?
I don't think right now there is that I have my eye on. I mean, if I was to sit here and say this is the job I'm going to keep for the rest of my life, I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think anyone could ever say that, especially at my age. I mean, mid-30s, I don't think you're going to stay in the same job for another 30 years. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
What I'd like to go somewhere else, probably at some point, maybe go to a college level instruction, or maybe get into something else. I don't know. I think that would be fun, because I think this is fun right now. I think maybe the next level being college, where I can guarantee all the kids in my class are probably there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
At this level, it's not that way. Half of them are here because they want to be. The other half are here to get out of all-day high school. I mean, to be honest, half of them are here because they want to get out of school.
That's true.
At college, I think they're all there because they want to be in that program. So I think that would be kind of a nice change.
Right. Now, one more question. What advice would you give to students or anyone who's trying to pursue this type of career?
Be as open as you can possibly be. I mean, I can use you for an example, really, because even last year I came and you were nervous. I mean, overly nervous to do things, because you weren't doing them. When you started doing them, you got a lot better at doing PSAs and things of that nature, just putting your videos together because you tried it. I've got students in here that won't try. They don't want to get in front of the camera. They come in here and they say, I don't want to do that. So my question to them is, why are you here? I mean, I understand, there's jobs to be a videographer, a camera guy, be technical director, things of that nature. But if you're not willing to try to be in front of the camera, you're never going to know if you want to be. You have to be at least willing to try it once and then say, not for me. That's fine. Have to try it all. And especially in this business, you never know when someone's going to need you to be on camera, especially when you're starting. Somebody may need you just in the background shot. Or maybe they need your voice because even though you don't want to be on camera, maybe your voice is just so spectacular that they want to use it for something. You need to be able to at least try that. Try everything. I mean, since I've been in the video business, I've done live trucks, I've done cameras, I've done technical directing, commercial work, sports obviously being in front of the camera, producing. I mean, if you don't do it all, you're never going to know what exactly you like. Be open to trying everything.
All right. Well, that about does it. Thank you for your time.
You bet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rod Wankel.